Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's John John's podcast. You already know what time it is, man. I got my legend. I got my boy doing it right, man. Let me know who you are.
I'm local legend. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm here with John's podcast. Thank you for having me, bro.
Of
Love,
course,
love,
man.
love.
Always, dude. I mean, from the last time I saw you, bro, like the last performance we were at that event, it was a free love, free for all.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out Robbie. Shout out Robbie,
shout out
man.
Robbie, shout out to Rad Inks, man. Everybody's been showing love. Everybody, man, that pretty much was there, showed everything, showed out. Dude, you killed it, bro. Like,
and we gon' ride this bitch together like I'm Michelin. I'm on Michigan, I'm on Donegan, I'm on Simpson, riding with my following. You get X'd out, penciling accomplishments. It's so
I like pride myself on like that. Like I'm not like somebody that's like, oh, I gotta be the best rapper, but like I like to say something even if I'm not saying anything type shit. And yeah, like usually when I come to the shows, I always try to bring like something personal because I know usually at the shows like we usually kind of get like we'll get the trap vibe a lot of the time. So like I try to mix in like a little bit of that, but like real personal, and then like kind of like just more or less like just real hip hop too. Also, like I'm still working on trying to bring in like my other forms of music. Like that's why like the last song I did was 5 in the morning. It's like a pop alternative song or whatever, just to kind of like just as a like I also do this too. Like I mean, it's not just
yeah, you kind of
whatever.
like challenge yourself.
Yeah, for
As an
sure, for
artist.
sure. It's always good to kind of like bring like just different sounds or whatever, like, because I feel like a lot of the times at the shows, like some, like, and the music's not even necessarily bad. Sometimes you might actually just, everything just kind of sounds the same type shit or whatever. So I always try to make sure I bring something that in a way fits, but also kind of like tunes your ear to like, yo, like, damn,
Yeah,
this is fire right here. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, man. And like I said, I even have a personal friend, like, he's from New York, like Brooklyn, all
mm-hmm.
day. You know what I
Love.
mean? So like when he peeped your shit, he's like, bro, like I feel, and
That's your friend.
it was his first time actually going to these events too,
Uh
man.
huh.
So yeah, it was
That's
pretty
good. I'm
wild.
good.
So like to actually bring somebody that like never been to these kind of things, and
Yeah.
just kind of find like a local artist, you
Uh-huh.
know?
I'm glad he enjoyed it, like for real. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'll travel fucking here and there to perform. And as long as like one person, is like just touched by the performance, like bro, that shit is like priceless. Like I love that. Like and I'm really glad he enjoyed himself because last year they did a show in Melbourne too. Shout out to 30 NT, they threw it or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, like it was at the same place. And bro, like the whole year I kept telling everybody, bro, that might have been one of the best shows I've ever been to. Like
Yeah,
everybody that performed was fucking amazing. Like they all did their thing. It was so many different like sounds too. Like it was just super. I was there the entire show. Like I never really leave the shows, but I was there from like 5 all the way up to like 10, just like watching everybody else perform. And I was like, bro, like this
yeah,
was beautiful. Like beautiful poetry in motion, literally right in front of me. It was so amazing.
yeah,
So when Robbie them hit me for this one, I was like, bro, hell yeah, like same place too. What the
yeah.
fuck? Like hell yeah, bro.
Thousand.
I'm the hell
I
yeah, I'm
love
with
when you
it.
hit me up, man. I love when y'all hit me up. Just gonna
Yeah,
let y'all
shout
know.
out Robbie, man. For
Yes,
Robbie
yes.
made me cry that night too, low key.
Did he?
Yeah, he was pretty much kind of like saying like the same thing your boy said. Like he was like, bro, like you just went deep, bro. Like you
Yeah.
just touched me here, man. Like I've never really heard nothing like that. Like it's been a while, and I was just like, bro, thank you, bro. Like that. A lot of these songs are unreleased too, so imagine me sitting with
Yeah.
them all the time. Like I can't wait to like dropping shit like that to really kind of just put it out there and hopefully connect with like some more people or whatever.
Thousand. Yeah,
Hmm.
you gotta stay connected, man.
Yeah.
Especially when a kind of person like Robbie that's humble and just
Hmm.
knows how to spiritually get to you, man. Get your
Yeah.
emotional side. And you're just like you stuck like Chuck, man. You're like,
Yeah, like it's free love, and like it really is love.
yeah,
Like I really like, just the fact that they even gave us a 20-minute set and just
yeah,
let the artist be the artist. I was like, man, thank you. Like that's so dope. Like when they put in the chat, like, yo, like it's a 20-minute set, like, but don't feel like y'all gotta just perform. Like, if y'all
hmm,
want to do it's y'all set, do what y'all want to do.
yeah,
So I was like, damn, like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just throw a song on here from like the project that, I wouldn't normally perform
yeah,
on here type shit and just let it play as like my final song. Like, yo, this is from my next project coming out. I hope you guys enjoy it type shit. Like, that's really dope type shit. And
yeah.
and it worked because the vibe there was just perfect. Like everybody's like really just spreading like really good positivity and like really good energy and shit like that. So
Okay.
it's dope. That's really dope.
Hell yeah. So speaking a little bit about like going to A to B, you get where you gotta be.
Hmm.
So where other places have you performed besides like writing? Like have you like traveled like I know you were talking before this, yeah, you went to New York.
Yeah, New York last year.
Yeah.
I've performed mainly in Orlando, but I also have performed a lot in Tampa. I love Tampa. Like Tampa is like, I'm gonna be honest. I like performing in Tampa probably the most because they just show so much fucking love out
Hey,
there.
one
Like,
three.
yeah, like they're amazing out there.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
aware of Tampa.
yeah, Tampa's dope.
I
That's
ain't.
they have a lot of really good artists out there too. Like
Yeah.
really good artists.
No, yeah, 1,000, bro. They be
Mhm.
lit out there, bro. Yeah.
Besides Tampa and Orlando, New York is the only other place that I've performed at too. And that show was alright. It was cool. Like New York itself was amazing. I love going to New York, but the show itself was straight. It was solid or whatever. But
Mm,
besides that, that's really it. New York, Tampa, and Orlando. Those are like the three main places that I performed at.
okay. And from there, so are you gonna plan on any like tours or anything that you're gonna try to cook up or anything that you're gonna try to base yourself to get yourself more out there? Or what's the
It's been getting to that point. As
right,
crazy as it
right, right.
sounds like, because I'm an indie artist, obviously, so
Uh-huh.
I would have to do everything on my own budget. But
Mm-hmm.
one of my boys, Charlie Flo, shout out him. He's been talking about like kind of putting together like a little like just road trip. Like we do 3, 4, 5 shows like just around. That's kind of not like all in Florida, but where places we can actually get to like Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like fucking Louisiana or some shit like like nothing too crazy or whatever, and just putting that together to kind of put ourselves out there more and shit like that. And I feel like that's kind of what you need to do to kind of like expand and like like just get your foot in the door of like other different states and shit like that.
Mm.
But as of right now, me myself, no. But I've been thinking about it like a lot. Like I'm like, like maybe I need to. I feel like when I get more of a following type shit, I'll be able to like do that more. Like if I know I have like at least 25, 50 people in like the cities that I'm gonna hit that are gonna pop out, then for sure, like, because 25, 50 on camera may not sound like a lot, but 25, 50 people in one venue that's there for you, like that's
You're just
something.
like holy shit,
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
what?
Like that's wild. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely some shit I would definitely like pop out for or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I was just asking because like me personally, I just want to know like how it all starts because obviously you see so many artists are independent as well
Yeah.
that came up, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? I just want to know like where is that mindset go to where to even start because a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people just
Yeah.
like we were talking about like, in Orlando you said there's not a lot of people that do
Yeah.
podcasting
Not really too
or
many.
even if that like it's just like they don't commit to it. It's just
Yeah.
like commitment to anything even being an artist.
You have to commit. That's the main thing, and I feel like with commitment comes learning, and like
Mm,
when you learn, you want to do more type shit. So like I've been doing music for like a minute. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like I feel like 2021 is really like the year of where I like shifted into like a new mindset of
yeah,
like, bro, you're an indie artist, and like like now it's a new start, like type shit. And so now you have to start thinking like an indie artist. Like you have to start understanding like like that you own this music. This is your shit. Like you could do shit with it. You need to figure it out. Like you need to like put money into yourself to get yourself out there more type shit and like gain new fans. Like you have to submit to this place to see if they'll accept your music and shit like that. And like once you start thinking of it like a business, because it is like the music business type
yeah,
shit, you start to treat it like a business and it starts to run like a business type shit.
1,000.
So I feel like with the commitment alone, like in the span of like 2 years, like I've gained like 3,000 Instagram followers or whatever, like, and
Nice.
just like the love, like, because I was just like, what, I'm just gonna focus all my efforts into Instagram because this is technically my portfolio. All my shit is here. You come here, you see pictures, you get an
Yeah,
idea of who I am type shit. So that's why I started like, okay, I'm gonna just focus all my time, money, and energy into like Instagram primarily type shit. And I've watched it grow. So it's like just planting that seed and watering it and keeping up with it because you could plant it and water it once and it might do something, but eventually it's gonna die out if you don't keep nurturing it type
exactly.
shit. So that's how I've been looking at it.
No, I agree with that, bro. Because like that's why I've been learning on myself too for doing
Yeah.
this podcast.
Hmm.
Like Instagram has been my platform. Like yeah, you do TikTok. I feel like TikTok is one of those other things too that you can actually really put yourself on platforms. What I've
Yeah.
noticed for like artists, a lot of artists that became like their platform the way they are because of TikTok
Yeah.
because it promoted them so much. So there, because all right. So for TikTok, there's so much reposts where you can do easily right off back. All you have to do is
Hmm.
just hit that repost.
Yeah.
And so many people do it and they gain more followers because of the repost that they did. So they're actually catching the same clout. So it's a profitable for everyone in
Hmm.
everything. And only you for your as a lone artist yourself, you're the main platform that you're building up as by yourself, not even doing shit. You just post one thing, people find that fire,
Yeah.
or you have some sort of like collab with some sort of like big artist or any way
Hmm.
bro, it jumps off. It takes off
Yeah.
in like it's like an overnight success. They say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. See, what I like learning with TikTok is that like on TikTok you have to have an identity too, like because
Yeah.
we know how TikTok is. We'll fuck around and scroll through 100 videos in like a minute type shit, and that's like a lot of information to process.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time you're at like the fifth video, you forgot what you watched 4 videos ago, or whatever. So like that's why even when people go viral on TikTok, I always say like I feel like going viral on TikTok isn't the same as going viral on like Twitter or
Yeah.
Instagram because so many people go viral so constantly that it's more or less about, if you go viral, how can you pull in this crowd or how can you establish an identity
How
to
can you keep
where,
going? Yeah.
yeah, like, like where you're recognizable. Like when we're scrolling, we get to you like, oh, this is fucking John. Like, like, cause
Yeah.
you might have the intro like, hey guys, like, or whatever, like where we just recognize that and we're familiar with it type shit.
Yeah.
So like, I've been even trying to figure like that out for myself too, because like,
1,000. Yeah.
yeah,
Same. So for you guys that are trying to like figure shit out too, like us, listen. All right, we're figuring this out. This
yeah,
is this is a whole group sesh, man. Together,
dropping gems, man, dropping
dropping
gems, knowledge,
gems.
knowledge, knowledge type
Hell
shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
man. So as you know, you're waving up that little thing right
my
there, man.
fault.
Show them what's up, man. What you promoting?
This is the Falling Leaves EP physical CD. Shout out to anybody that actually physically has one. I know like I'm supposed to sell them. I fucking slack, but I've been giving them away as I've been like linking with people. This project was the last project I dropped. It was last year. It was 8 tracks, an intro and an outro, so really like 6 tracks. But it was really good music. And one of the songs on there has like definitely helped me go up. It is the Electric Sunset. I did a video to it last year, and it's a really good project.
It's for my niggas chasing cash and steady currencies. They heard of me and it's wild, and my sense of style is running wild from the crowd. Still a lonely child, and I'd be lying if I told you I ain't phased, nigga. And I'd be lying if I said I'm still the same, nigga. The world changed, rearranged in a certain way.
It's kind of in a way like just hold off for what I'm about to drop now, which is the pop project. It's titled A Pop Star's Love. I don't know when it's gonna come. I'm hoping that I get it out this year. Like that's the fucking goal. I'm like just about finished with like the masters and stuff. I just got to do a couple more things and we'll be good to go. I'm gonna hopefully do a listening party, so I hope to see you there.
Hell
It'll
yeah.
be in Orlando.
Let's go.
And it's completely different than this. Like I'm singing on it, full on singing. Like and singing is something that I've definitely done. I've touched on it before. The project before this one, there were like a lot of like melodic singing songs, or whatever, like a lot of electronic, a lot of alternative acoustics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like with this project, it's just like a full on, and it was like also a challenge because I feel like people avoid like pop music, like I don't want to do pop or shit like that. But I was just like, man, fuck that. Like I'll do it. Like I like to challenge myself. So I was like, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
like do it type shit. So I just started working on it, and we're here at like the final stretch for it, and I can't wait for it to come out. 5 in the morning, the last song when at the show,
Uh-huh.
that's one of the songs that's also on the project too.
That shit was fire,
Yeah,
bro.
the
Yeah.
last 3 songs I've actually put out are on that project.
Uh-huh.
I Miss You, Other Side, and What Does Love Bring. The last 3 songs that I've dropped this year in 2023, all of those songs are on that project.
Okay.
So like it's looking pretty good like right now type shit.
Hell yeah. Damn, bro. So you're already set up, man. You set up.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for that, man. You already know what
A
time it
Pop
is,
Star's
bro.
Love. A Pop Star's Love. That's the name of the project.
There you go. Pop Stars Love, baby. Be on the lookout, man. So definitely that. So like speak a little bit about your background of your music because I mean I know it's like a mixture of like pop,
Mm-hmm.
a few other things that you listed as well. Like
Yeah.
speak a little bit of your background of it. Like what is it that your main genre is of it?
I guess my main genre would be quote unquote rap, but like I've never really ever kind of stayed boxed in like with music. Like even like early on, like 2016, I was already using like K Tronada beats, like you know what I mean, before
Yeah.
niggas even really knew who K Tronada was. Like I was already using like selection beats like 2015, 2016. I think what I implemented more or less was just actually getting better with singing. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
I was using the beats, but I was mainly kind of just like rapping on them type shit. And here and there, I would play with a harmony or two type shit. But once I started like mixing my own vocals and shit like that, and like really being able to sit down and record myself, that's when I really started getting into like singing, like full on singing type shit. Shout out auto tune. But with auto tune, like it's helped me become like just a better natural vocalist. Like because sometimes I don't even really need like that much of it. I'll just turn it down like, okay, cool, like my vocals are actually hitting on this
Yeah.
shit or whatever. So I kind of like I just like kind of dance around. Like every time I sit down to record, it's always like a different experience. Like I might sit down and I might be looking at fucking, like Mick Jenkins type beats, and I can't really think of nothing to like to rap about. Next thing you know, I'm fucking looking at 80s pop type beats or whatever. Then I'm looking at acoustics, like, and shit like that. And so every session is like different. I'm always bouncing around like from different sounds. It's just more or less like just like what sticks and what hits in that session. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm fucking with this. Like, this is hitting. And the inspiration comes from just so many different artists, and mainly like what I'm like last night I was working on a song and I was listening to Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark or whatever. And then I just kind of was just like going through his catalog, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to make some shit like this. So I
Yeah.
went into the studio and I was just looking at like, like Bruce Springsteen type beats,
Yeah.
and so like, and, I made some shit, and I was just like, yeah, this is dope. This is tough right here. Like, fuck, like, so every session is always just different. It
That
just,
was him.
yeah, it just depends on what I'm listening to mainly type shit and what's inspiring me at the moment or whatever.
Right. Okay, yeah, because I was actually about to ask you the inspiration when it comes to your lyrics and what you rap about. Like I know you said like it's a lot of like personal things that you
Yeah,
went through your life,
personal life.
personal life situations, and you hear a lot in your songs. Um, I was gonna ask something following that. Yeah, I always have a blank moment,
Nah,
dog.
you
I
cool. I be
always
doing the
have.
same thing. I'll be like, yeah, and
Yeah.
I was yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't worry. So like I cut this shit out. That's when I cut that out when I'm like, nah, so nah, so like when it comes to your lyrics and a lot of trauma things that go through your life, like how are you capable to match that together and make the masterpieces that you do? Like what like what starts it up? Because I know like some people could just sit there and be outside chilling on the park,
Mhm.
and then some shit will come to them.
Yeah, it comes and goes like that. But I feel like mainly what it is I'm big on instrumentals. Like, like I will dig for hours to find the right beat. Like, because I'm like, bro, like I gotta feel this shit. Like I
Hmm.
really gotta feel this shit. And when I feel it, it just flows, like, and it just comes out or whatever. And so like those are usually the only types of songs I release. Like if I had to sit down and really like force it type shit, then for the most part I probably won't release it or like. But usually what I'll do is another thing I do is, um, I'll sit down sometimes, like, with music, and I'll try to record. And sometimes, like, I don't get like a song, but I'll get like a topic. So every session is kind of like, I'll peep what I'm saying or whatever. Because sometimes I don't even really know what's bothering me, but I'll be saying like certain shit again and again and again. And then when I actually find the right beat, it's like I already know what's been bothering me because I did it 4 songs ago. So it's like now I'm taking those 4 songs that I scrapped that weren't it, but I'm taking like, the content from that and I'm mashing it up and
Okay.
putting it into this one type shit because now I understand what's bothering me. I found the right beat and now it allows me to tell that story type shit.
Yeah, it's like the right time type.
Yeah,
Like
right,
yeah.
right moment, right time, perfect, perfect timing type shit. Like, yeah, this
I
is
feel
it right
like
here.
yeah, I feel like that's a lot of artists' methods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like, depending on what you, because I'm very critical on what I put out type shit. So like I always try to make sure like I put something out that I fuck with, even if it's like the most ignorant shit. If I fuck with it, like, and I'm feeling it, like, yo, I'm fucking with
This is
this
what I
right. Yeah,
like. You
like I
fuck with it,
like
or if
this.
you fuck with it or not. If you don't, you
Yeah,
do. It is what it is.
and
Yeah.
that's the main thing. I feel like you have to make music that you really like. Like you have to really trust your gut. And I feel like
Hmm.
if you have like a good ear for music in general, like you'll be fine more times than not. And like really just listening to that gut feeling type shit. Like, and you kind of just know, like, you'll know, like, yeah, this is one, like, for sure. And usually when I record, I'll kind of just know in a way, like I'll already see it in fruition, like miles down the road. Like, okay, like this is gonna be here. If I do a project, like it's gonna be here. This is gonna be the title, like et cetera, like, or whatever.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Damn. You see, like now, like I'm starting to like realize like that's a lot of the traits that a lot of people that don't follow up. They just like go what sounds right, but they don't understand. Like if you like set yourself up for success, like the way you were just talking about,
Yeah,
bro, I feel like you go long ways because you already have so many backup plans, and then you just like you find the right beat, and you're just like, bro, this is perfect for this song,
yeah,
bro. I
that's
already
perfect
got
for
it.
this. I already got
You
this type shit. Yeah,
back up, yeah.
and a lot of the time, sometimes too, like it could be like just like shit that somebody else might have said that might be dwelling on me, like on Electric Sunset. I start the song off with "They Say Your Life Is Set in Stone." And the reason I started off like that because the day I was writing it, I was at work, and at the time where I worked at, like I worked with like people kind of younger than me, like that were like kind of fresh out of high school, and like they were being put onto my music or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and they were like really fucking with it, and they were just asking me a bunch of questions about it. And I remember somebody, I can't remember who said it, but somebody in the car that was like with us, like they we kind of got on that topic of like like they it's fate or some shit like that or whatever, and like I just was driving home and I was just looking for beats. I write and drive a lot. I got to stop doing that, but I write and drive a lot, and I was just
Don't
driving
write
home.
and drive, people.
Yeah, I found the beat to Electric Sunset, and just like as soon as it kicked off, like I could already see the song session in my head and everything.
Yeah.
And I just started off with "They Say Your Life Is Set in Stone," and then from there I was just like, yeah, like. And once I have like that, like the first part out the way where it just cracks the surface and it actually like it works and I know it works. From there, the song just really just writes itself, like like
Mm-hmm.
because the foundation is set, it's already started off good. Like we're good to go now. It's just about me matching it type shit, and that's what I did with that song specifically.
Okay, so he just takes off right off bat as
Yeah,
soon as
just
you like set it up.
literally like, and then rehearsal is always like a good thing too. Like so, I'll be driving, going through the lyrics, like spitting them to myself, trying to like actually imagine myself sitting down and recording the song.
Yeah.
So it's like bringing it to life almost because you're sitting down thinking about it. That way, when you get there, you can actually perform. Like it's just it's in a way it's like muscle memory and just visualizing and shit, and just in a way like manifestation type shit. Like you if you keep seeing yourself missing jump shots when you get to the gym, you're gonna probably be missing jump shots. But if you see that flow of you catching the jumper, going up, a
Yeah.
million times in your head, eventually, you're gonna hit some jump shots type shit. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how it was like with like a lot of like the recording too. Like I always try to just see it and shit
Yeah. It's kind of like the Kobe method, man. Like he go to gym before practice started, and then he'll stay after
after
practice
practice,
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd
So
be in there for like hours on end working before practice even started.
so if
And
you have that mentality with your music, bro, shit, you'll go a long way, bro.
yeah,
You'll
you
be seeing swishes.
literally with music too. Like a lot of people like they miss with everything in general. A lot of people miss the fact that you have to be consistent as fuck, and you have to have a strong fucking mindset to keep. Because mind you, bro, like I'm like 8 going on 9 years like in music type shit. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like and I'm not even at the level I want to be at, but that's a long time, right?
Yeah.
You have to really be like dialed in, like, bro, this is what I'm gonna do.
Like no
Like,
matter how long it takes,
yeah,
I'm
no
gonna do
matter
it.
how long it takes, like, and with that comes experience. So again, like you get better throughout the years, like for sure. So
Yeah.
the rate that I like record at and the amount of good songs I actually get that I'm gonna put out, like the rate that they come now versus like back then, it's like
Yeah.
like the songs I scrap like now it's kind of like, damn, this is fire. This could be for somebody else. It's just not for me right now. But
Hmm.
like I'm recording at like that type of level, so that's why like with the age just comes the experience, and that's why I'm like, okay, like I don't, imagine where I'll be 2 years from now, what kind of experience I'll have, added
Yeah.
on type shit or whatever. So like that's like another major thing with it too.
Shit. Come experiences, man. So talk a little bit about that. Artist wise. So who would you say your biggest influences when it comes to music? Like what kind of like who like all right, because I'm sure it's like variety a lot.
Yeah,
Let's chop up to like maybe like your top five.
top five. Okay, definitely Drake. I would say Drake, like for sure. Like maybe not like all newer Drake, but like I grew up with Drake, so like Drake for sure. Kendrick Lamar is definitely one of them. I don't want to really say J. Cole because I'm not like the biggest J. Cole, but he does have songs that I like that I'm like, I really fucking like this
It's
song.
crazy because I was
And
gonna say like I know between Kendrick and J. Cole, you have like a match between that. Like your
yeah,
flow replicas that. That's why like you know what I'm saying? Like when I
yeah.
heard your shit,
Rick
yeah.
Ross is definitely one. Like I try like I listen to a lot of really great songwriters type
Yeah.
shit. In the hip hop world, I would say like Drake, I guess Cole, Kendrick, Ross, and then for the fifth, I would probably say who would be like my fifth like hip hop. I like Benny. Benny the Butcher is like fire, like and Freddie Gibbs too. Like that whole just sound of music, I really just like enjoy that. Like that. This shit nasty as fuck. I
Yeah.
like this shit
Yeah.
hard. Like I like shit like that. Like but at the same time, I also listen to like a lot of old music too. So like Anita Baker is one, Teddy Pendergrass is one. Like for like style and just sound or whatever. Like in my studio room, I have like the whole wall is like covered in just different artists that I really like because when I'm doing music, sometimes I just like to look at the wall and just be like, how the fuck would fucking Anita Baker hit this track? Like,
Yeah.
what would she say? How would she start this? Like, how the fuck would the outfield like come in like with their vocals on this like fucking singing song? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's like another big thing too. Like, I listen to a lot of music, so with that, you know, I'm always just inspired by different shit. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucking hard. Like,
You know, yeah, you know what's crazy when you speak about that. So you know, D Mix had a method to how he rapped,
yeah,
because what he had his whole entire room, it was just full of just a bunch of different artists,
yeah,
and he started flowing at every single like artist that he would see.
mm-hmm.
But like I think he was like not mimicking, but he was like just flowing. Like he'll
Yeah,
see a picture, he'll catch a vibe, and he'll flow. So
mm-hmm.
he was doing that with like all the pictures in the wall.
Yeah,
Sounds crazy,
mm-hmm.
but I mean DMX, DMX. I mean, I'm
Exactly.
sorry, but Jay-Z I mean, he did something right.
Mm-hmm.
So like that kind of reminds me of like that kind of little bit of not the same method, but it's the same concept. Like
Yeah,
you can look at somebody and be like find inspiration just by seeing,
yeah,
because what they bring to the table.
exactly. Because every artist is gonna be inspired by another artist. I don't care what no artist says.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
you can't come in and be like, nah, I'm fucking this is my shit. It's like, bro, who did you listen to that inspired you? Like, even if it's not the exact same thing, but who did you look at that like maybe they had a snare here or like, yo, I like the way he did that. Like, yo, I'm gonna like build a whole base of sound like based off that type shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't. We look at T-Pain and you know T-Pain created a whole fucking sound that Kanye picked up on. You know what I mean? And from Kanye, we got fucking everybody else, you know, doing the 808s and heartbreak sound type shit nowadays. And
but then
like,
of course you're gonna get the pros and cons. Because think about it. So speak a little bit on the T-Pain situation.
mm-hmm.
He did bring new flow, bring
yeah,
a whole new era,
something fresh.
But it speaks on the documentary a little bit about how like he was on a plane.
Usher.
Usher,
oh my
Usher
fucking
situation.
God, bro, that is hilarious to me.
That's hilarious.
That is
but
hilarious.
Imagine like somebody that's like an icon to you, and then tells you like, "Hey,
you
fucked up music, right?"
Oh my God.
Like if I heard that and like somebody that was that high up told me that,
yeah,
that I just fucked up music, I'm sorry, I would hate myself too.
You'd
I
be
would
like, damn, especially
like,
somebody you like look up. Like when I read that story, when I tell you I laughed because in my head I'm visualizing like T-Pain just sitting there chilling, and then like yo, Usher wants to speak to you, and then like I'm just picturing Usher just sitting there like in the plane, like looking out the window, and T-Pain's like, yo, what's up, bro? You want to see me? And he's like, yeah, man, you know you really fucked it up for real singers, man. You know you fucked it up for real singers.
I would have been like
I would have been like, damn, nigga, like what? This what you made me come back here for? Like, damn, bro.
Like, damn.
Yeah, like, ouch, my nigga, like that. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Like, but I mean, I think in the moment, like when it's in your face, then that's probably like how Usher saw it. But I mean, like we know today that like, you know, although like everybody does sing now with autotune, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
no, nowadays it's so accurate now.
Yeah, like I'm like nowadays, like it if anything, it's helped people be able to do shit that they wouldn't normally do because they're not like a vocalist. You know what I mean? Like you know, without autotune, I don't know if I would be as decent as a singer. Like I'm not the greatest singer, but you know, you put the right key on, I might know some shit of how to make this shit sound good.
It definitely makes it a lot easier to be more of an artist, a true artist yourself, instead of what I feel like what it does in one side way. I feel like it eliminates the frustration of trying to find your voice.
Yeah.
And it helps you be like, okay, I found this is where I sound good at.
Mm-hmm.
All I have to pay mind to now is my lyrics and stuff that you can actually really pay mind to help you be a better artist.
Yeah.
So I feel like that helps artists to be artists. Just at the time when it first came out, just like anybody on anything, they'd be like, what is this? Like, no, we don't like change.
Yeah.
But it did help them challenge themselves to be a better artist. Like, I'm not gonna let this shit like overpower me. Like, for example, Usher. Like, I'm Usher. Like, nah. Like, I'm not gonna let that take away from what I am in my platform.
Exactly.
And until this day, like, bro, he'll perform, bro. Ladies still drop their fucking panties, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's Usher.
And not only that, like, I feel like it's also helped natural singers. Like I mean, like we know Beyonce don't need auto tune.
Hell no.
But from somebody who mixes music too, because like I mix my own shit. From somebody like a standpoint of that, you understand like you don't need auto tune because you're a good singer, but for the recording and like, you know, actually like putting this down and putting this out to like the platforms for people to listen and shit like that, like we're creating a sound. So we need this, because you know it formats it into like a way of like where it just makes it like okay, this song is like on par, like everything is good, like there's not a note that's out of stretch and shit like that or whatever. And like I remember I watched something about auto tune before, it was like a minute ago, and they said that you know the recording process for singers and bands like it could take weeks on end type shit. And they're like, well, auto tune, you know, like that cut that down to like you know a day
Yeah.
type shit. And I'm like, yo, like that's you know it's literally snapping you right in key type shit. And if you're even like a good decent like you know singer like or a vocalist, like bro, you'll be all right. Like
Yeah.
we know Beyonce could get in there and hit a note, and it's like shit, we don't really got to do much, but you know we're gonna put it on there. But fuck, phenomenal job,
Yeah.
like type shit or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. So that's why like I don't bash on any artist that does anything to create. Long as you put value and you put your heart, sweat, and tears in it,
Yeah,
I'm all for it, bro.
yeah.
Like,
I definitely think that like some people will use auto tune as like a crutch
yeah,
in a way, like in a sense of like where it's like, oh, it got auto tune straight, like and it's like, bro, you still gotta hit these notes. Like I mean,
yeah.
you at least attempt or get
They
fucking
get
close.
lazy.
Like
They get
you know what I
lazy.
mean? Like bro,
Yeah,
just put auto tune. I'm like, no, nigga, like I might not want to sound like a whole fucking robot,
yeah.
like type
Like nah,
shit.
bro.
But
Cause like when you sound, cause you gotta think about like what I get into like for music. Like I want to make music what's gonna sound good out in live too. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
off rip.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like people put shit that sounds good when you're in the room,
Mm-hmm.
but when you out performing, bro, it's
It
gonna
just
sound
doesn't.
like
Yeah, it
trash.
doesn't
Like
translate
them
over.
Island Boys. Oh
I'm
my,
island boy, and the
oh
thing
shit,
to make it.
bro. When I first heard the song, like okay, I'm like, all right, they're from Florida. I
Yeah.
can tell just by off rip. I'm like, all right, at first,
Uh huh.
but like that's when before they got all the weird shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
it got weird really quick.
really fucking fast. Y'all fucked it up. Y'all
Yeah.
fucked it up for us.
It's funny because I actually knew about them before Island Boys because like I don't know why they randomly pop like when they were like doing like all the Instagram lives and shit. It was
Yeah,
weird.
that's where I found out
Yeah.
about them too.
And I was like, what the
Well,
fuck?
anyway, so the point is like that song Island Boy, like it sounded like okay
Mm-hmm.
listening to like if you're in a car or whatever. But when I saw like their live performance, I'm like, yo, this shit is trash.
Yeah.
Like it tells you a lot about like, you know, like that was quick and because they caught like a catch and they caught like a hook that sounded good. But when you put something out there live, bro, and it doesn't sound like what you thought it is or
Yeah.
what it sounds live, bro, you're gonna look stupid. You're gonna look ridiculous,
It's
man.
what I call meme music. Like it's
Meme
like
music,
it only
yup.
blew because it's like a meme and like these niggas are kind of goofy to look. Like I guarantee if they look like normal and shit like that, it probably wouldn't be. It wouldn't have been as big. But the fact that they already had like all the build up with it, like you know,
The
for the
cloud,
internet, yeah,
yeah.
for the internet, it was funny. It was a joke. Like it was cool on the internet. But you know, once you actually get in person live at an actual real club and like you know real people standing there, it's like
Yeah.
the fuck is this, bro?
It's like you go see a Logan Paul or what's her name, like go do like boxing and shit. You know what I'm
Oh, okay,
saying?
okay, okay,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I mean YouTube shit and shit that they do as people that promote themselves, they're great,
yeah,
awesome. But when they do like out the cap shit, like I'm like, what y'all doing, bro? Like y'all ain't athletes. Like y'all
I know.
athletes, like you
Yeah,
work out, you hit the gym, you're ripped. But you haven't been doing this like some other people been doing this since they were kids, man.
yeah, for sure.
Like you know what I mean?
And that's kind of how I've been. I've been like writing since a kid. So yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just instilled in me type shit
hmm
or whatever.
Like
Like
I get if you're late and you come into it and you do it,
yeah,
but like you're doing it for yourself to blow up, then
yeah,
that takes a lot of passion and commitment for others that actually put the sweat and tears into that shit.
yeah. I try not to knock anybody's path in music. Like whether you want to make a
Yeah,
quick buck or whatever. Like you know, I have no qualms about like what you
yeah,
do or no quarrel with it or
yeah.
whatever. So, but there's you see the difference though. Like you see the difference, especially when you're live and you see like somebody. Like I remember the show in Melbourne last year. There was this one dude there. He was like an older dude. Like you know, you could tell he was like a dad. But bro, he spit his ass off. It was crazy. And
Yeah,
like no, like just off straight instrumental. Like and you could just tell like bro, like that's years of fucking experience right there. And like I was blown away. Like I was like, bro, fucking
cause that's commitment. That's
hats
like
off
that
to
hunger
you.
that's still in them.
Yeah,
That's
like
that
and
dog still in them. Yeah,
you could tell now they kind of do it like as like for fun type shit, but you know
yeah.
the experience is still there. Like you
Oh
know,
yeah.
just I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan could step on the court and ball anybody up still
He
type
still
shit.
ball up.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's still hurt. Like but boy, he
fuck,
still got it though.
three. Yeah, you know what I
Yeah, he
mean.
still swish.
It's instilled in him type shit or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly, man. So it's just like that. That was the whole point of it. Not to bash on anybody or
Yeah,
anything,
nah,
but at the end of the day, bro, like push come to shove, you're gonna see from somebody that's hungry, from somebody that just got a gold spoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
type
that is
shit.
kind of just like, let's set themselves up on a platform, just kind of just like to make yourself look like
Hmm.
that person, but really you're just doing it for clout, man.
Yeah, and I think like with that, that's like the one thing that's also diluted music too a lot. Like I feel like we don't really digest music the same as we used to,
Yeah,
like back then or whatever. Because there's so many new artists and different forms of like music coming out, especially like in the hip hop genre. Like I'm gonna be honest, like I kind of fell off with even listening to hip hop for like
it did fall off for a while, bro.
yeah,
Hip
like
hop did fall off a little bit.
2020. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really listen to no hip hop like at all. Like I ain't listen to like nothing. Like I don't know what it was. I
I feel it
was
was a weird time for hip hop. I ain't gonna
yeah.
lie. I felt it was weird because like a lot of these artists brought new sound, and I feel like hip hop didn't know how to really like bring back itself, its culture, and I feel like they just fell off down the way.
Yeah, there's still true quote unquote hip hop artists in hip hop or whatever. And it's like I don't even got an issue with like, the newer artists that come out, but I just wasn't really like as a fan, I just wasn't hearing nothing that I was like, I'm impressed by this. Like
Yeah,
or anything that I would listen to that I'm like, yo, this was like it was more or less just like this ain't bad. It's technically good, but it ain't really like doing it for me. Like it
yeah,
ain't it for me type shit. Like it's I'm not really getting like a sense of like fulfillment or feel like I'm not really filled from listening to this album type shit. And like
yeah.
I don't know, I just kind of that's kind of why I fell off with it for a little bit, like listening to it. And 2020, I was like working on so much alternative and electronic. Like I was listening to a lot of alternative and electronic and house music at that time.
I feel like at that time, like because of that, because my cousin does it,
Hmm.
and he kills it in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
man. Shout out to Ink, man. That's it, man. You already know that's my
he
boy.
he does house
He
or
does he does electronic
oh
house and
electronic.
stuff
Okay,
like that,
cool.
man.
That's
So
dope.
like I mean, now he works in like production where he does like music for movies and stuff like that, or
Yeah,
sound or etc. But long story short, at that time it was so hot, a lot of people were just doing that, going
yeah.
to those events like raves, lot like all those kind of music. Like
Hmm.
that time, I feel like it took away a lot of opportunities for other hip hop artists to really shine, because like a new era of music came and posed. 2018 to 2020 is when it started. I felt like it started creeping up and started becoming this global thing where everybody's listening to it now. You know what I mean?
I
It was a
agree.
new sound.
I feel like K Tronada in a way was like a really big face for
Yeah,
like the average like listener who doesn't really listen to house and shit like that. I feel like he was like like the on the forefront for kind of like the middle ground of like oh shit like yo this is like dope and like I still am enjoying it to make you even want to dig deeper and
yeah,
shit like that or whatever. And then obviously Drake came with his album or whatever. I mean a lot of people didn't like. I liked it. I thought it was good or
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, I feel like it's always gonna be something like that, and then it always shifts around and goes here because even now with hip hop in general, we have so many different subgenres in hip hop. It's pretty crazy. Like we have the trap melodic, we have fucking the yeet, we have the screamo hip hop, we have rock hip hop type
yeah.
shit. Like
Like yeah, everything's mixed up, man.
yeah, and it's cool. Like that's why I like and love hip hop because like we're like one of the few genres that we can actually implement every single other genre into ours. Like we watched Nelly do a song with who was it, Tim McGraw over and over
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like so shit like that or whatever.
I was surprised. Like at that time, like now that I think about it, that song is underrated, bro.
Big yeah, like
Country and hip hop, like that was the first to actually put it out there like that.
yeah, low key, it really was. And it's funny because like last week, I don't know what it was. Last week that was in my rotation heavy. Like I don't
Hmm.
know what it was, but yeah, like that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not underrated. I feel like the new generation probably just don't know about that.
yeah.
Like to them now, that's like old school, but to us, like
Like,
because I still listen to "Slow Down" by Bobby Valentino.
hmm,
Like it just came out. Like that's like always in my weekly rotation. So to me, it's not even old school or like old. Like it's just kind of
it's
like yeah,
not
it's just not
to
current.
them because it's not
Yeah,
current.
type shit.
Yeah, it's just like when some young ass jitterbugs tell me I'm old. Look, I'm only 31. I ain't old. Okay, I still got youth.
Yeah, 30 is
Yeah,
30 is still young. They try to make it seem like you can't do shit when you're 30. Like, oh, you 30 and you still trying to.
my back hurts sometimes.
Yeah, my
That's
knee.
all right.
I'm
No,
26 and my knee be hurting sometimes. Like, damn, my fucking knee hurt.
like shit, man. Fucking weather's changing and shit. My body hurt. Nah, but like what I'm trying to say is they're trying to do the same thing for music. Like because it's not up, they want to just like, oh, that's old shit. I'm like, bro, some of the old shit's the new shit, bro. You just you're hearing it in a different
Mm-hmm.
tone.
It's being given to us differently. Like
Yeah.
like I feel like I've heard, if you even listen to a lot of like artists talk about who their biggest inspirations were and who like like really inspired them, Lil Wayne is always like at the forefront, and Kanye, like Lil
Yeah.
Wayne, Kanye, and Drake type shit. Like they're always like like I feel like Drake is probably the youngest out of obviously out of those two or whatever. So he's more of like for the current generation type shit. But I feel like if you didn't really experience the Lil Wayne era, like you wouldn't understand. Yeah, I feel like the artists we have today that are like, like Uzi and like Juice WRLD and fucking Playboy Cardi, like there's a reason they always say Lil Wayne type shit, because it's like, yeah, like we're around the same age bracket too. Like, of course Lil Wayne is your number one, because like I
Yeah.
remember like for a time Lil Wayne was my number one. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like,
Always.
always type shit. Well, definitely, he's definitely like for sure. Like for me, probably the number one like hip hop artist to ever live. I've never seen anything like it. It's insane.
Because like of what he brought in, and so many things that he was like doing was just so new and so fast.
Yeah.
He brought autotune. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
besides T-Pain, he brought autotune.
he bought it in a different way
He
too.
did
He bought it
though.
in a completely different way,
A
and
whole
people
flow that a lot of people were just like, "Yo, this sounds raw." Like
people
this
overlook
sounds.
it so hard. It's crazy. Like he's like one of the first people who was actually rapping with auto tune when he didn't even fucking need it.
Yeah.
I just like the way this shit sound. It sound cool. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, and that's dope, because it's like, why are you doing this when you don't need it? It's like, bro, because I want to. It sounds cool. I like it. Fucking sounds cool. And like that, I just thought that was like so fucking dope, like, or whatever, that he brought it in that way, and people overlook that sometimes. Like,
He's done shit that a lot of people can't say they've done in their time. Like at
yeah,
his time, when he gave up writing pen and paper and he just started like freestyling and flowing
yeah,
it as he went, he's the only one of few rappers that do it. Like there's still gonna still do it,
yeah,
but not a few that can still do it because look how many songs he put out.
yeah, exactly. That's why. And even now, like you see how like his writing ability, how like that's helped other artists too, because nowadays, like even me myself, like sometimes I'll go in there without nothing written and just kind of just like just flow it out. Like, all right,
Yeah.
like maybe I'm okay, yeah, keep that, let's run it back, and just to really get like the thoughts going type shit, and like where you don't even write nothing type shit. I mean, you may write it down just to kind of solidify, like, okay, I like that, let me write that down or whatever type shit. But for the most part, like a lot of artists, they record like that now. Like I just seen like a video of Young Thug, an old video of him, like I think it was like in 2014 or 15, and literally like no pen, no paper. He was just in the studio, cup in one hand, glasses on, just like locked in, just yeah, run that back, punch in,
Yeah.
like recording like that type shit. So I feel like it's not as obviously, music isn't like, I feel like the writing part of music isn't as like serious as it used to be, but like it's okay, because like we see how, again, it's a newer generation. Everything can't be the same, so we'll see how the next generation, how they
Well,
start to flow.
but yeah, also because a lot of artists nowadays have ghostwriters
Yeah,
as
that's another
well.
thing. That's another thing too. A lot of ghostwriters. I wish I could be a ghostwriter.
Oh, dude, hey man, let me know, bro. I'll
Yeah,
write some shit for you, bro. I used to be a
yeah.
poetic man back in my
For,
young kids. Yeah.
I've never been appalled to having a ghostwriter. Like never.
Yeah,
Like as
no, because like you just want to be unique, and it's like you're rapping for somebody else. You're
yeah,
putting somebody else's emotion out there, just in your own way.
yeah. Because I made plenty of
Yeah.
songs where I'm like, this is a good song, but this isn't for me. This is for somebody else, and I just put them on ice. Like, all right, maybe I'll fucking run into Neo one day. Like, yo, Neo,
You
bro.
know what I feel like would be good for a ghostwriter? I feel like it would be good when you're writing for like big artists. For example, like Drake. Like Drake's
Yeah.
made it. He has ghostwriters. He's been a
Hmm.
ghostwriter. Everyone's been a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Chris Brown ghostwrited some people, bro. Like he's made hits that he made Rihanna hits. He made so many hits for other people that you
Yeah.
just wouldn't even think.
Party Next Door too. Party Next Door is written. That man's catalog is fucking insane. He will forever be paid just off his credits alone, type shit, because he's written some of the biggest records that we know and love. Type like I think he wrote Controller. He wrote Preach. Like he's written so many songs. Like same thing with Kanye. Same thing with Ross. I believe Rick Ross has like had
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of really good writing credits. I know Kendrick has written some songs for Baby Keem or whatever. Um, so like the ghostwriting part of it. I'm not even gonna get into like the R&B element of ghostwriting, because like I feel like with them it's different. Like they don't really mind like saying
It's
like, oh
different because you have to focus so much more on your vocal key instead of
yeah,
like the lyrics itself. You got to make sure.
exactly.
Yeah, I that's different. But like for like hip hop, rap, it's like I said, bro. I feel like that only fits for like big artists that only like look, man. Like I already know I'm gonna make a hit. Just give me
Hmm.
some lyrics.
Yeah, just give me some lyrics. Like it's
Yeah.
because something that some people overlook too is like you in a way like hip hop is a business too. Like music is a business in general. You have to be like somebody that people like also in a way for the formula to work. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like because I feel like let me see. I'm trying to think. I feel like just an everyday artist like me putting out Controller wouldn't be the same impact as Drake putting out. Like like people, you like people that might not even know me. I put out Controller. It's just like because you don't recognize me. It's like oh shit, why? Like, or it's Drake. It's alright.
Yeah.
Drake is like it was fucking Drake, bro. Like and he's a symbol.
Yeah.
He's an icon. So
Yeah.
it's like bro, look. It don't got to be nothing too crazy, but give me something good, and we could work with that type shit or whatever. You get a good song, like okay, like because it's Drake now, it's great type shit or whatever. So
That's when
it's
you
like
get a
another thing.
paycheck, boy.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You get your get
No,
your
get
money
your
type
hustle,
shit. Yeah,
get your money, bro. And honestly, like if I can make some ill shit, bro, and an artist like somebody like Drake or somebody like any big artist, and was like, yo, I wanna make a hit off of your song, that alone would make me feel like I'm like,
yeah.
bro, like, huh?
Like me for
Like,
real? Oh shit, me? Okay,
nah,
cool. Yeah,
you talking
just
about this dude?
yeah,
Okay, no, okay,
yeah. I definitely want to ghostwrite for like some big, and that's like another thing
yeah.
too. Like with music, like as a musician, yeah, I want to make it with my own music, like that's the goal. But I also keep it to a way like of where like I know like I want to stay in music, even if I don't like God forbid I don't make it as an artist. At least I'm still in music and I'm able to ghostwrite for people
Mm-hmm.
like and shit like that, or at least I'm still around music, doing what I love and getting paid and eating off of it. Because a lot of the times people think like, especially like starting out coming up, it's like oh like like the goal is to be like the biggest artist in the world, and that's cool. Like like I would love to have like 1 million people at a stadium, but bro, if you have like let's say 5,000 people listening to your music every month, or like that, you got 5,000 dedicated fans, like bro, like you could really make a living off of that. Like imagine every month you're making 3 to 5K off of just music alone. Like come on, 3 to 5K, like that won't change your life every month. Like you don't got to be making millions, like but like as long as you're eating off your music, like that's really all that matters. And the goal is obviously you making 3 to 5K. You flip that and then you flip it again, and you flip it and flip it and flip it and flip it and flip it type shit or whatever.
Yeah, that's how a lot of independent artists do it, man,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about your fan base, their commitment, their loyalty, bro, and it builds up after time. And then you blow up, and then hey, comes along with it. Like a lot of artists say, bro, I'm not for the fame, for the money.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of artists do say that, and I feel like it's like there's some artists that even shun that, like oh like man I do this shit for the art, like not the money. Like Grant, I love music, like I do this shit because this is what I really love to do, but I'm not gonna act like I don't want to eat off this shit. It's a
You got
business, like
to.
yeah, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. The world is expensive. We wake up. I feel like us waking up nowadays is like I go $50 for just waking up nowadays type shit or whatever. So like money talks. So I feel like if this is what you want to do, it doesn't hurt to like figure out how you can make some money off of this too and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
you might be able to send a song to somebody like, oh yo, I'm gonna plug this into here, and we gonna cut you a check for XYZ and shit like that. Like that's like a very key factor. So again, the part of being, especially if you're an indie artist, and you really have to think about it like as an indie artist, like this shit is a business. Like like businesses have to grow, and if the business is not growing, we need to analyze it and look and figure out why is this shit not growing. What do we need to do differently? That's like another major part of it too.
Yeah, and I feel like it's become a lot easier with coming like marketing and ads and a lot of things that you
Yeah,
help promote, and you just gotta pay. Yeah, you gotta pay your way into it, bro.
you have to. I look at it as paying dues. It makes it easier because it's like like it's fine. Like you're paying dues. Like one day, you won't have to do this. Like, and I take a lot of pride in the fact that I don't DM my music to people. Like, so all the love that I always get on music is always just natural. Like, and I be like, I'm not gonna front. Like, it's dope to see because I remember I didn't have shit. Like, so dropping a project and then just like for a week, just everybody's posting it and really enjoying it, DMing me like, yo, like, and I'd be like, damn, I didn't even send this to nobody. I just posted the albums out. Like, like 100, 200 people fucking shared it and posted it and messaged me about it or whatever. Like I did shirts one time too. And I thought I was gonna sell maybe like 10, 15 shirts. I ended up selling like 100 shirts. I was like, holy fuck, like y'all really willing to wear like my face on y'all chest? That's crazy as fuck. But
It's a great feeling when it first starts like approaching like that.
yeah, it's like it's and some I don't know. It's weird because like I could complain about like what I don't have, but I always like to look at what I do have, and it's like I remember I didn't have shit, like and it takes a while to build it up and get it there, but I take pride in that. Like okay, cool, like I did this shit, like nobody could say like oh I gave you a handout, or I know that these people are enjoying my music just off the strength of like yo, I really enjoyed this. Not that you sent this to me and I'm just liking it and commenting because you forced me to. Like, I just genuinely really enjoyed what you just put out there, bro. And I take like a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
love,
cool.
man. It's
Yeah.
love, and you feel that warmness, and you're just like, bro, like people actually appreciate what I'm doing,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I
And
mean?
I
The
be needing
feedback,
that. I be needing that
it
shit
humbles
bad.
you, and it
Yeah.
definitely keeps you like, all right, the hard work, you know what I'm saying, is doing it, is getting it. You feel me? And I feel that, man. That's definitely one of those that you have to like sit there and really appreciate, man, because you're gonna look back at it and be like, man, like I came so far.
Yeah, man. And I like to document a lot of shit. So like even just kind of seeing like, how shit goes, or like, when I'm years down the road, like, cause I have a book that I'm also working on too. And like I started it in like 2017 or whatever, like the end of 2017. And like, even to this day, we're in the year 2023. Sometimes I'll flip through the book and just kind of look at like, old like journal entries and shit like that from like 2017, 2018. We're in 2023 now, like on the road. So it's interesting to see the growth and like, just even remember like that time, because I feel like 2018 was the year that I actually like, was like on like another level of like music. Like, okay, I'm actually getting a lot better at this shit or whatever. And I just locked in and just became like a completely different person that year. So it's always interesting to go back to like, that grind mode time. Like, yo, this was like a fucking insane time.
Hell yeah, man. It's just kind of like what Kanye did, with his
Hmm.
documentary.
Yeah, I,
Yeah,
I
look,
love that documentary was
yeah. When I
amazing.
saw that made me feel so much joy, because I'm like, bro, like you literally saw from like the beginning to like what he became today. So like, little things like that you definitely want to have, because it will bring you in such a place mentally, and I feel
Hmm.
like spiritually as well, or wherever way how you intervene yourself, it brings you to a place where you're just like, bro, like I did this myself. Nobody did it.
Yeah,
I ain't get no backlash. I ain't have no connects. Like this is my build up. So it says it's alone for yourself as a true individual artist.
yeah, stepping stones. And like another thing, I think the best piece of advice I ever got to that like really keeps me going, it was from Danny Towers. I had like an interview that day, and he just happened to be at the same studio, and like I know Danny too, so I was like, oh shit, what's good, bro? And I was like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, and we were like chopping it up. This was like 2018, so he wasn't where he's at now. And I remember I was talking to him about it. I was just asking him like, when does it come? Like, when do you get like your break? And he was like, to be honest, bro, like nobody ever really knows. But he was just like, and it's crazy. It's always stuck with me. I just remember he said it doesn't matter how big or how small the steps is, as long as you're progressing and you're like making headway. He's like, I don't care if like you go a year and you only gain 15 like followers or 15 like listeners that really listen to your shit and shit like that or whatever. He's like, bro, just keep going because you never know when your time is gonna come. All of these steps they matter. Like
Yeah,
trust me.
that is very
And I
true.
was like, oh, yeah, almost hit the mic. And I was just like, damn. Like, and that's had me looking at music so differently now. Type shit. Like, wow. Like, it doesn't matter how big, how small the steps is. Every little brick matters. Type shit because you're building something, and you're building a foundation. So like if you fall, at least you have this foundation to fall on versus like you didn't build nothing. You just got to the top and you were here and then you were there so quickly. Like you didn't have any support system, like lifting you up and keeping you up there or even keeping you right here. It doesn't really matter like type shit. But I always looked at that and always thought about that. So like, that's why I enjoy the process of it. Like no matter how chaotic, how bad it gets, like I've forced myself to like love this process. Like, bro, like when I'm stuck or in like a music drought and I can't think of nothing or shit like that. Like I love that. It's like, bro, fuck. Like this shit is so tedious, it's so annoying, but I love it because I know I'm gonna push through this shit. I'm gonna get through it. I know I'm gonna make another good song. Like I just don't know what that song is gonna be, but like I'm not gonna quit. We're gonna keep grinding, and
Mm.
like that's really the key factor. Just keep grinding. Don't quit, bro. Just keep going, keep going.
Hell yeah, bro. I love that mentality, man.
Yeah,
For real,
man.
bro. It's gonna take you a long way, bro. For real. Well, shit, man. Before we go ahead and wrap this up, brother, let them know where they can follow you, where they can get at, where you gonna catch the latest at, brother.
All right, guys. So on Instagram, you guys can find me at Local Legend, LOCALGND. That is my Instagram. Honestly, just follow me on there because I really don't be on no other socials. And then for music, same exact name, except on the end of the name, you're gonna put like that little asterisk. That's like like the little asterisk like that, and then the three because it'll make a heart, like like the little heart. So Local Legend with the Heart, all together, no spaces. Those are all my music YouTube channel too. You can find my music on there. Give it a listen. Shoot me a DM. Let me know how y'all feeling about it. Like I respond to everybody just about. And I appreciate all feedback. Whenever y'all do send me like messages, because a lot of people that found me on YouTube, like it's fucking you, like yo, this shit was hard as fuck. I'm like, oh shit, bro, love, bro, thank you, man.
Yeah,
That
of
means a
course,
lot,
of
man.
course.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, man. You already know you heard it. Show some love, man. Get some feedbacks. My boy, keep going, baby. Like I said, bro, I appreciate you, man. It's
Yeah, of
coming out
course,
and showing
man.
love,
Hey,
bro.
man, thank you, and shout out John for actually having me out here, man. Like, check out his podcast. It was dope that you actually were out and about, and you actually got to see live performances. We need more people out there, like
Thousand.
in the field, really like here
Seeing
type
it.
shit, and actually getting like a word in with the artists and shit, man. It's dope.
Thousand, bro. Appreciate it, man.
And shout out Robbie for bringing this together. Like he threw a show. I met him. I met other artists. It's dope, and that's what it's all about.
Hell yeah, man. Shane, we got a fucking tattoo from Robbie, man.
You got one?
Got a little thing right there.
Oh damn, he
You
snapped.
did it, Robbie.
Love.
Clean, man. Appreciate you, man. Well, anyways, this is John's podcast. We are out, baby. Deuces. What's up, everybody? It's John's podcast. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more videos.